Hello, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke. We've got a great show for you guys. Today we're doing a tier list of the MLB ballparks that's ranking them, again, from different tiers, best to worst. We've got 5 tiers we're looking at today, and all 30 ballparks. Like a lot of baseball fans, I've got a dream of going to all 30 ballparks. I'm about a third of the way there, so I can provide a little more insight on some stadiums than others. But you guys know your stadiums better than I do, so my apologies if I lowly rank someone's favorite stadium. But all just here for fun and excited to talk some baseball stadiums with you guys. So without further ado, let's hop into our very first one. So we're going to kick off action with Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays out there in St. Petersburg. They've got that kind of ugly roof. Again, it's not even retractable. They've talked about a new stadium forever. The roof recently got ripped off and they played outdoors this past season. And I went to a game there and that was great, but I've never been to the Trop. But if there's ever been a begin construction stadium, it's the Trop. I think baseball should be played with a retractable roof or outside. It's hard to get a stadium more ugly than that. It's kind of a rough first one. Next up, we have the Rate Field, or Rate Field, I believe it's called. I went there this past summer. It's a good ballpark, but I have to put this in uninspiring. It's neat, but there's just nothing that unique about it that's special. It's got a good vibe. It's a great place to watch a game. But if they just rotated the ballpark 90 degrees to the left and opened it up a little bit, you would have had a perfect view of downtown, the skyline of Chicago, which is beautiful. A missed opportunity for me there. And then you have Yankee Stadium, which is meant to be a replica of original Yankee Stadium. It's a neat stadium, but it's nothing special. Once again, I know a lot of people kind of agree that it feels a little bit soulless and lifeless. I'm going to put it in just it's a ballpark because it's a neat ballpark, but I don't think it's the best they have to offer. Next up, another one I went to this summer, Marlins Park out in Miami. It's a great ballpark, but there's no one there. The vibe is very much lacking. There's not a lot of energy. That makes it hard, but from a purely ballpark perspective, it feels kind of like an arena somewhere. But it is cool. I think it's not noteworthy. Jeter came in as part of the ownership group and took out a lot of the fun stuff and the fun colors. So I think it's cool. I think it's a ballpark. It's nice. Next up, we have Dodger Stadium, which I went to 4 or 5 years ago and was honestly kind of amazed. You watching the sunset with the mountains out there and the palm trees everywhere. It's just got such a nice vibe. It feels old school without feeling run down. Like it feels very up to date, but it gives you an old school vibes. And the history is one of the oldest stadiums in the league. For me, it's one of those stadiums I have no notes on. I would be like over the moon if it was my home ballpark. I think it's perfection. It won't be at the front of perfection as this list goes on, but it's definitely top 5. Next up, this is hard. I'm going to be biased here because it's my Busch Stadium, my Cardinals. I love them. It's a great place to watch a game. You're in the city. You're looking out at the arch. You have a lot going on there. It's just got a good vibe. It feels kind of cozy tucked in there. And the aesthetics of the history of the Cardinals and stuff. There's going to be 2 perfections in a row here, but it's hard to pass it up. I have no notes for it. It's as good as it gets. I think it goes in front of Dodger Stadium for me. Again, this might be a little biased, but if you haven't been, truly go, hear me out. It's a good spot. Next up is the the Sacramento A's Stadium, temporary spot, Suter Health Park. It's an okay spot. I mean, it's a minor league stadium. They're literally beginning construction on their actual stadium. So I'm going to put it in begin construction. I think it would be fun to watch an MLB game in a venue that small, sitting out in like a grass berm. But I mean, the players do press conferences in like a tent. It's just not a good setup, and they're literally beginning construction on their new stadium. So that's where it goes for me. Next up, we have Rogers Center, where the Toronto Blue Jays play. I've always thought this looks really cool, the kind of unique retractable roof. There's a hotel inside. You have that Space Needle looking thing towering over it. It looks really neat. And I love retractable roof stadiums that feel outdoors. and this is one of them. I have never been to it, but I'm putting it in noteworthy stadium. I think it's top. It's up there, one of the better stadiums in the league. So that's where that one sits. Another one I haven't been to here, AmFam Field / Miller Park up in Milwaukee. Again, I've not been to this one, like I said, but retractable roof. It feels open. It's a very neat stadium. I like the kind of arches there. It's a good stadium. I think it's a ballpark. I have a friend who's a Brewers fan. I might draw some flack from him. I think it's above Yankee, but in my mind, it's just a ballpark. This is where I'm probably going to lose some people. We're here at Wrigley Field. I went this summer, and it was probably a mistake of my own. I was cheap and did standing room only. And boy, the pillars and whatnot, it's an old stadium, but it kind of still, you can tell it's dysfunctional, which that's part of the charm of old baseball stadiums and baseball in general. It's about as good as it gets. The pillars are annoying, but I don't think it's the top tier. I don't think it's a top 2 stadium. I'm not going to put it below Dodger Stadium. I think I would rather go to, like, you go to the experience of Wrigley just to get that experience of going there and seeing a game. But I think if I was telling someone to go watch baseball for the first time, you would have a better experience at a Busch Stadium or a Dodger Stadium. I don't want them to change Wrigley, but that's my opinion. Next up, we have Petco Park out in San Diego. This is a really, really great stadium. I mean, it's, again, like I was saying with Busch, it's tucked in with the city there. All very modern, a great atmosphere. I went there when they were really bad, but I mean, you watch it on TV. It's one of the premier places to just watch a late night baseball game because the energy is through the roof. And I think it goes in perfection. I think Cubs fans, here we go. It goes below Wrigley, but it's a stadium where I wouldn't change a thing about it. It's just absolutely perfect. Top tier. We'll fill out these middle tiers here, but it's hard. I'm a big baseball fan. I love all these stadiums. It's going to be very top heavy. Next up, we have Globe Life Field out in Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers, a newer ballpark. Retractable roof, hot Texas days, I get it. I have a hard time a little bit with this one. It's going to go in uninspiring for me. And this one isn't bad, but I think they could have done more with it, with the connecting it with the team. And maybe I'm wrong, I haven't been to this one, but it just seems like there could be more done. And when you watch games there, it feels a little bit soulless and lifeless in there. Next up, we have another great stadium. This one I have been to, Target Field up in Minnesota. Unfortunately, it was a little empty last year, but it is a great place to watch a game. You have the city skyline out there. The limestone's really neat, and it's just a very modern look. It's not quite perfection. I think some of it is a little janky, but as a whole, it's a really beautiful ballpark. If you're designing a ballpark, you're knocking it out of the park there. I'm going to put it above the Blue Jays, above Rogers Center. Next up, we have Minute Maid Park, or I don't know, they changed it recently, wherever the Houston Astros play. I will always, I know Houston Astros, they had their thing back in 2017, but their ballpark is very nice. Their uniforms are very nice. I think that they do a retractable roof well. Again, the roof is closed a lot, which I don't like, but when it is open, it feels like an open air field. I loved how they had that hill out there in center field. The Crawford boxes is fun and unique. I think there's a lot of things I do really like about this stadium. It's noteworthy. I think it goes in front of Rogers Center personally. If they open the roof more, it probably moves up in the list, but I think that's really nice. Now here we are. This is probably any baseball fan's top tier stadium. You have Fenway Park, built in 1912 out in Boston. The Green Monster, you have the city out there. It's perfection. I don't think there's anything else to say. Next up, we have Chase Field out in Arizona. I was there in 2023 for the World Baseball Classic. Roof was closed for every game, which is such a bummer. I get Arizona heat, the hot days out there. So it's a neat ballpark, but in a way, I think it's just a ballpark. Going to a game with the roof there, You know what? I'm gonna actually knock it down to uninspiring. I'm sorry, Diamondbacks fans, but I just think it's a neat ballpark, but I don't think anybody goes to a D-backs game and comes back and is telling their friends, like, oh my God, you gotta go there. This is one of the best spots. So that's just my thoughts. Next up, we have another one, Pittsburgh Pirates PNC Park. Beautiful ballpark. I've not been, so probably this is where it's gonna get controversial. But you have the city to the right. You have that Roberto Clemente Bridge. It looks really neat. It might just be because I associate it with a lot of losing baseball lately, and I'm sure their own fans do too, and hate that, and hate their ownership. But I think it's a noteworthy stadium. I don't think it's perfection. It's hard. I don't know what it is, if it's just the vibe thing or what. It's the best noteworthy stadium, but I don't know if it cracks the top 5 for me personally. Again, this could just be a bad take from yours truly, but I think that it could be a little bit better. Next up, we have Progressive Field out in Cleveland. That is a nice city ballpark. They recently did some revamping and whatnot, and it's a solid ballpark, you know. I've not been myself, but it's a good spot to watch on TV. I don't know if it's noteworthy. I'm just going to put it in it's a ballpark above American Family Field. Next up, we have Truist Park. It is the new Braves Stadium out there. Kind of meant to replicate that old Braves Stadium. And again, you'll see here, I have a heavy bias towards stadiums in cities, which is hard. So I'm going to put this one in It's a Ballpark. I think it goes between American Family Field and Progressive Field. It's a neat ballpark. I haven't been there, but I would like to. And I think it's just one of those stadiums that I don't know. I still need a little bit more from it. There's not a lot of uniqueness to it. But, you know, maybe I go and I find out that there's more to it. Next up, we have Citizens Bank Ballpark out in Philadelphia. This is a great stadium. This one is an easy perfection for me, and it's going to fall number 2 on the list. I've not been there, but the vibe seems great. You look out, you have the city skyline in dead center field, which I love. I love the incorporation of the city. It's a nice big ballpark. The architecture is really cool. I think it's the second best stadium in baseball. Next up, we have my home ballpark, Kansas City Royals Kauffman Stadium. It's a great ballpark. It is really nice, you know, and it's a good place to watch a game. You have about a mile hike in from the parking lot, but there isn't a lot of uniqueness. You look out on the interstate, I-70, you have the fountains that are cool, but I don't think it's a noteworthy stadium. Just objectively, I would want to put it higher, but I think it's a ballpark, and I think it falls in between Truist and the Brewers Stadium. Next up, we have AT&T Ballpark out at San Francisco, looking out on the bay. It's a top 3 ballpark. I was talking about Citizens Bank being number 2, but I think that's it's hard. I don't know where to put. I don't know if I put it 1, 2, or 3, because it's arguably, you know, I'm gonna make an executive decision right here. I'm putting it at 2. I think and I know that I'm getting top heavy here. There's a lot of perfect stadiums out there, but I think it's better than Citizens Bank, but it's just a tick behind Fenway. You have the water you look out at. The splash homers are fun, and it's neat when you look at it from like an aerial view. It just looks like a stadium that was sawed off. That was pretty cool. So, great ballpark, perfection. And while we're here, we're already a top-heavy list. You know what? I'm putting PNC Park back up there. We're going to put it right here after Petco, but that's where we're putting it. Next up, we have Comerica Park out in Detroit. It's a good ballpark. I have not been. I do want to go. I think it is just a ballpark. And I think it's a better just a ballpark. With the city there, I think it goes after Progressive, before Truist. Next up, we have T-Mobile Park. I went here, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, showing my age. But it was a great stadium. I really like how out in the bullpens you can kind of stand right on the railing and watch the pitchers warm up almost at eye level with you. The view of the city is really neat right next to the Seahawks stadium. The retractable roof, it doesn't feel like you're caved in, and they keep it open a lot. I think it's a noteworthy stadium. I think it goes before Minute Maid, after the Twins Stadium. Just a really neat ballpark. A lot of stuff to like about it, and it feels modern and timeless at the same time. Next up, we have Camden Yards out in Baltimore, home of the Orioles. They have that janky new wall, and this one gets a lot of love from people, and I see why. Like I said, it's a modern but timeless stadium, but there's something about it I don't love, and I think it makes it a noteworthy stadium, and I think it falls in. I would rather go to a game at T-Mobile Park than at Camden Yards, so I would have to put it between there and Minute Maid. Next, we have Citi Field. It looks really cool. I've never been. I'm saying this a lot. I haven't been, or I have been, but this is a really neat stadium, and I like the architecture once again. It kind of has that old jewel box theme that you used to see a lot. So I think it's a noteworthy stadium. I don't think it goes... Actually, you know what? I think it's just a ballpark. I'm sorry, Mets fans. I think it's just a ballpark. I think it goes after Progressive. It just doesn't have a ton of uniqueness and a ton of character, which is a hard sell for me, but you know what? It's still a great ballpark. Next, we have Great American Ballpark. This is out on the river in Cincinnati. I've heard great things about it. Haven't been, but I think it's a neat venue there. You have the city behind you, looking out on the river. It's always a fun ballpark to watch on TV. I do think it's just a ballpark, though, and I think it kind of goes in that tier with like Comerica and Truist. I think it's above. It might be the front of It's a Ballpark. It's close to noteworthy, but not quite. Next up, we have Coors Field out in Colorado. This is really neat. Once again, it kind of faces the opposite direction of like the mountains and the city. So all that's kind of behind you, which is a little bit of a bummer. But it's a beautiful place to watch a game. It's full, 30,000 people, and they're still losing terribly. You know, it just shows how much of a part of that city it is. And again, I love being able to look out on the front range of the Rocky Mountains from the upper deck while watching a baseball game. That's pretty cool. I think it's a noteworthy stadium. I think it falls in between Minute Maid and the Orioles Stadium out there at Camden Yards. Just a beautiful ballpark. Highly recommend if you haven't been. Next up, we have the Nationals Park out in Washington, D.C. Again, a newer stadium. Looks pretty neat. I like how from the upper deck you can kind of see like the Capitol or, you know, some stuff to give it some uniqueness. It's a good spot to watch a game. So I'm going to put this one in It's a Ballpark. I'm going to put it after Truist. And that takes us to our final stadium, Angel Stadium out in Anaheim. A very, I think, underappreciated and overlooked stadium. It's really neat. I kind of like the goofy rocks out there in center field. It's got a great vibe. It does have that old school and yet serviceable, you know, up-to-date feel. And I think this is a solid, I don't know if it's noteworthy or it's a ballpark. This is a tough one for me. I think this one falls in front of Comerica and in front of Citi Field. I think it goes to third on It's a Ballpark. That will complete our list here. As you can see, it's pretty top heavy. There's a lot of perfection, but I mean, it's hard. There's so many beautiful ballparks. I was proud of us. We only have 2 stadiums where we would begin construction on, and I think both of them they're actively trying to get rid of. We round out our top 5 with Fenway Park in Boston at 1, AT&T Park in number 2 out in San Francisco, number 3 Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philly, number 4 Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and number 5 Dodger Stadium. Wrigley falls out of the top 5. PNC Park falls out of the top 5. So again, apologies to all those people out there. I need to go to PNC Park, and maybe we can do a new list after then. Yeah, that's kind of my final list, my final thoughts. And it's fun. I always love talking ballparks. If you've made it this far, thank you so much to listening to me ramble about MLB ballparks for the last 15, 20 odd minutes. There's so many great ballparks out there, and, each one deserves its flowers, because the thing I love about baseball and baseball stadiums is it's all so unique. There's no set dimensions. There's no standard of what it looks like. It's not like arenas or NFL stadiums where they're all generally the same. It's got so much uniqueness and character, and that's so fun to me. But thank you guys for listening and watching. If you're on YouTube, please consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. And if you're on Spotify, please consider following. Hope to see you guys again on Tuesday for the next episode. Thank you so much, and see you all in the next one. Take care.